tonight on BBC One. At 7 o'clock, Tomorrow's World includes a look at the dangers of driving.
Barry, I've commandeered a vehicle.
The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you.
It's a toaster?
Dalek, you have been defeated. Surrender. You have failed.
Insufficient data.
Is this world protected? Because you're not the first lot to have come here. Oh, there have been so many. And what you've got to ask is, what happened to them? Hello. I'm the Doctor.
And yes, he is, and yes, he was. I mean, instantly, really? I can't think of another actor who was as instantly the Doctor as Matt Smith. I mean, really crazily instant. Let me have a look. I mean, no, Patrick Troughton took a Power of the Dark. It's a little bit weird. Same with John Pertwee. All the stuff with the eyebrows, you know, a bit out of character. Tom Baker, kinda, but the story was wrong for him. Robot wasn't a Tom Baker story, essentially. Robot was much more of a John Pertwee story. So, yeah, no, still saying no. Right? Peter Davison. I mean, a lot of people would say he really only hit his stride in Case of Androzani. Right? That was really... I mean, he played like Peter Davison. Well, yeah, he was like Peter Davison from the first moment. Yeah, I mean, like I get it, but you know, yeah, no, I'm going to say no. Colin Baker, yeah, no. I mean, like the throttling Perry in the first episode, not the best idea. Sylvester McCoy, no, it took a whole season before we actually saw him. Right? I mean, that clip from Remembrance of the Daleks, that was basically the first time we saw the real Sylvester McCoy. Right? Like when he took Kane into melting himself, it was kind of an accident. Where he took the Dalek into killing himself, it was totally on purpose. Many would say Christopher Eccleston did. Oh, well, I was at Paul McGann. Oh, maybe, right? Maybe. I don't know. But here's the thing. I think Paul McGann was much more a pastiche on what people would think the Doctor is. I mean, he was good. He's very good. I like Paul McGann. In fact, we're going to be looking at some Paul McGann animation soon. It's very good. Yeah. I mean, that's how I would really describe the difference, right? I mean, Paul McGann. I think Paul McGann was a performance and a Doctor looking backwards instead of looking forwards, right? I would say the same thing with Capaldi to a certain extent, but it was also very dramatic looking forward. He was looking backwards in a very postmodern way, right? So, I don't know. Look, he played it pretty much perfectly from the first moment, right? And I mean that's fine. That was the standout of that movie was Paul McGann, right? I like Eric Roberts as well. Don't be wrong. I thought they would bounce off nicely off each other. You know, I've said this many times. Big Finish. You're floundering with Paul McGann. You don't know what to do with Paul McGann right now. May I recommend the try doing a box set of as if it was a US TV show in the 90s, right? That's exactly what you should do. Right? Or even better, right? I've worked it out for you, right? They're in the land of fiction. Well, okay, no, basically they're in the land of fiction or something like that. And they don't really realize that there's four 42-minute episodes in this mini season, right? And they're trapped in the American 90s TV landscape, right? So they got to have, like, you got to have your 4 commercial breaks, you got to have your teaser, everything's got to hit these beats, it's got to be about that long, right? And it's got to be feel like it's kind of made in a sausage factory, kind of, because like that's what good TNG was. Yeah, it did feel kind of like it was made in a, you know, like, and X-Files too, right? It's just like make them, and the people, they didn't have time to stop really think about if this was the done thing or not, which I think really worked very well for both those things. Anyway, but yeah, that we are. So we're looking at some Paul McGann animation. Anyway, so then David Tennant. I think it took David Tennant a little bit of time to settle down as a role. Right, I don't think he was really there until New Earth, right, or even Tooth and Claw, one might say, you know, around there. So Matt Smith, yeah, I mean, like that first episode, pretty darn good. Capaldi, it took him about a year for the quality of the stories or the writing catch up with the quality of his performance, and it really did. And that mismatch wasn't good, right? That really hurt on the first season. I mean, that first season, the only one I think is a real classic is Flatline, which I think is fantastic, right? But anyway, that's when you Thursday intro. Also, a bit of water margin in there, very low quality. I like that. Lung Shampoo. Yeah, I love a bit of water margin. Like Thursday night, BBC 2, 6 o'clock. You would either have Monkey or you'd have water margin or something like that. It was great, right? It was great. Thank you, BBC. You treated us well, baby. You treated us well before you turned into a. It's like you sent your kid off to college and they come back hating you, right? That's how I feel happened to the BBC. Now it just fails. Right, BBC just fails in every way it possibly can. Oh, it's such an incredible failure. But, what can I tell you? Here's the thing. So, in the last week or so, we saw a real rally by woke culture. Woke, of course, being... I'll define it. Yeah, you have to define it, because otherwise they just give you shit, because they will do anything not to answer the fucking question. Oh, it's all deflect. The woke means it's a mindless adherence to social media algorithms of morality. That's why there's nonsensical and changing constantly, right? And it's like Ukraine flag in your bio, right? Like a lot of people putting a Israeli flag in their bio because a terrible terrorist attack happened recently, and a mother and 2 daughters were murdered. Just horrible. I mean, like, I can't remember, but a lot of people are doing that right now. There's a good movie called The Seventh Sign, right? Is it Seventh Sign or Seventh Seal? Let me look it up. Hang on. It's a very 90s movie. Let's see if I can get the trailer, right? Because this is worth. Because this feels like where we are right now. Seventh Seal. I think the Seventh Seal, right? Okay, trailer. Had Demi Moore in it, pre-Bruce Willis Demi Moore. No, Seventh Sign there, not Seventh Seal. That was Ingmar Bergman. That just scared the crap out of me. There you go. 1988 movie. Blimey, let me download that. And here, one second. YouTube there. Doink. I just watched Picard, and uncharacteristically, the writing was however, the plotting was excellent. I love where it went, right? But the writing, whoa, ropey. Here, one second. So if you can find this movie, it's really worth watching. It's a biblical epic about the end of days made in the late 80s. Let me pull it up now. Video file. Wrong thing. Over here. Seventh Sign. And Demi Moore looking very hot. Bright star. We're not here anymore.
is coming.
I can't wait. 2 months to go.
The signs are beginning.
Found this.
Oh yeah, okay. Look, it's really cool, right? There's these Arab terrorists that blew up like a busload of Israelis or something, and so the army chased them, and they found them in the village, and this village had been turned to like pure ice.
It's incredible.
This is the Israeli army fighting it, and it's like talking to the Americans.
The seals are breaking. The day.
Okay, this trailer is shit. I want to tell you, this is like a schlocky horror trailer. It's actually a really good thriller.
Is approaching.
Hello.
Okay, so basically like this. This bloke is going around, he's essentially Jesus, right? But come back to Earth, kind of crazy, and his job is to break these 7 seals to usher in the apocalypse, right? And it's Demi Moore's going to be because there's no more souls left or something, and it's kind of stupid that bit, but yeah, the goof is it's stupid. They're using some random words from Kabbalah that make no sense. It's like megabyte modem time, but if her baby is born, right, it's that will be the end of the apocalypse, right? Because there's no souls for the baby. He's going to he's breaking all these seals and all this weird stuff's going down. Like, yeah, fish are boiling. You just saw that.
Hello.
Hi.
The mystery is unfolding.
I need to know what this says. I need to know what language it is.
It's about the apocalypse.
Your baby's due in February, the 29th.
How'd you know that?
There's a whole chain of signs, like a countdown. The Bible's filled with them.
One of the signs has to be stopped.
How, Mrs. Quinn? Do you know how?
It's time for you to know, Abby.
Stay away.
Okay, it's not this movie. Oh, this is shit.
There's nothing you can do. You can't stop it.
I'll point at Karen, she kind of can.
Show me you have hope, Abby.
Yeah, it's just like, this is not this movie. Oh, God, this is shit. Oh, it's actually a well-written thriller. It's a well-written contemporary biblical thriller. That's the worst trailer I've ever seen in my life. Really? Whatever exec ordered that, because that's like pure executive meddling. Whatever executive did that, it deserves to be shot. That's ridiculous. Man, that's a bad move. That's a bad trailer, I should say. I mean, absolutely a damn terrible trailer. So anyway, as I said, we've seen a bit of a counter assault by the force of woke. And what's woke? There's a mindless adherence, right? Blah, 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 blah. We did that. Also, platforming of ideology on a franchise with an existent fan base, right? That's basically somewhere they can reach a large group of people without having to put the work in to reach a large group of people, right? Yeah, because they're always lazy as well, right? On top of everything, they're always freaking lazy. And talentless, right? They're talentless because they're lazy. They're too lazy to do any bloody work, all right? To become talented. You don't become good at something just by being talented at it. You need to work at it, right? Most people are talented, like working at it, right? That's how talent drives itself. Anyway, but all these announcements from Lucasfilm and Russell D. Davis and Star Trek, if they do happen, right? If they do happen, and we've seen so much not happen, not from Russell D. Davis, right? I am hoping the Anheuser-Busch thing, which is spreading to other things, Anheuser-Busch boycott, the bud is changing reality right now. I am hoping that there's all these corporate shenanigans going on at Disney, and the guy's trying to get a controlling stake in it, who's much more conservative, right? If that happens, everything changes, right? Everything changes overnight, right? So you can expect to see there's a group of people that has hyper representation as well as hypersensitivity, who I can't name because of the hypersensitivity. But if I I was just thinking, can I hint to it? No. Why would I do that? Why would I do that to myself? Right? That's just a bad idea. Right? I was like, we all know who I'm talking about. So okay, no problem. Anyway, so here's the thing. I think on a corporate level, these things may be impossible by November, right? I mean, literally having to be reshot, right? Because the viewing public is speaking, the audience is speaking, right? And things I don't know. I mean, again, there was a big counteroffensive. It was mainly announced again, apart from Jinx Monsoon. And it's amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. If you don't have kids, you don't understand. You don't want your kids sexualized, right? You just don't understand that. It's bizarre. Here, let's look at this thing. Bizarre beyond bizarre. One second. This is from... Actually, I haven't watched this video. It was sent to me, right? But it was... I have the tweet as well somewhere. Where did I put it? Over here. Doink. Right, wow. Here we go. So yeah. So I found this whole little thread here. Yeah, 1 second. Doink. Share screen. Doink. Here we go. So this is by Ethan, who is looks like quite, he's 23, he, him, working TV, occasionally commenting bi. That means you're gay. Neurodivergent, don't know what that means. Trans safe space, okay. Mostly talks about Doctor Who, to be honest. Well, if we could just do that, because it heterosexual bigots seem to have a weird fascination about what queer people do in the privacy of their bedroom, huh? No, we really don't. What are you basing this on? It's funny how we can promote straight relationships and the kids don't think about that stuff. Well, here's the thing. If you promote a tiny minority, it's if you promote something that's called something atypical, you do think about things that you wouldn't normally think about, right? It's like, again, what was the thing that said you couldn't talk about Black Lives Matter if you weren't black, right? You couldn't talk about black rights if you weren't black. You couldn't talk about anti-Semitism if you weren't not Jewish. Like, do you remember that stuff? You can't talk about how raising children if you don't have children, right? And I think that one actually makes a bit of sense because that's life-changing, mate, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't think you're a bad guy. I just think you're an idiot child who doesn't know anything from anything, right? Now, again, if I watch this clip and you're right, I'm going to say you're right, right? Much like how they don't think about it when they see queer couples. No, they do. You're seeing something that's irregular. You're seeing something that's like, I think, under 2% or like 3% maybe. Very irregular. I'm not condemning it, right? I'm saying it's irregular because it factually is. So Charlie Kirk says in the thing, this father confronts Lego for promoting LGBTQ agenda to children, then gets thrown out by security. Why is Lego doing this when the products are designed for children? It's a good question. Why does Lego have to be about sucking dick? Right? I mean, I think that's a fair question.
The Lego group supports what?
The Lego group pretty proudly supports the LGBTQ community. Do we not?
Yeah. Yes. But the question is, why are you all in here with those pins on? Do you think children care about what man sucks at home and what girl eats vaginas at home?
It's time to leave, man.
Do you think they care about that?
It's time to leave, man.
Do you think they care?
I don't think they think about that, personally.
Yeah, because you're an idiot child and you don't know anything. Right? You don't, again, when you're showing something that is a minority, a tiny minority sexuality, and God bless you, you're welcome to be gay. Nobody had a fucking problem with you being gay. What the hell? When did that happen? I didn't get that memo. Right? Honestly, when? What the? It's like, yeah, you are promoting a gay agenda. Yeah, an LG, not gay, because gay people are fucking normal. Oh, it's people who aren't gay who wants to get woke points aren't normal, right? And like they just can't think about it. So this guy's going to get thrown out for this. Now, is he a dick? Is he being a dick, or are we just cowed into submission? That's really the question, right? Again, highlighting, minority sexuality brings attention to it. Yeah, it brings attention to the actions.
Right. So why would they think about it when they see your pen? Yes, they do. It's disgusting. That's called grooming.
All right. If y'all mind leaving.
Yeah. If you call security, tell security that you're in here wearing a pride flag on your shirt.
Come on, guys. It's time to leave.
You know what's amazing? Most children don't know. He's been educated by me. I think it's grooming. It's borderline pedophilia and child abuse for these weirdos to come in here and wear that, and at the same time.
Wait, do you remember when if you wore a MAGA hat, you were a National Socialist from Germany in the 1930s, and you just weren't allowed to do that? Do you remember that? When that was intolerable? Oh, for him, it's like the Confederate flag. Like, no, I'm sorry, mate. Do you remember when that wasn't allowed? But this is fine now. Why can't you have one standard? Honestly, why can't you bigots have one standard? That's how you avoid being a bigot, by having one bloody standard.
Kids buy from the store. When does it stop? I'm sick and tired.
You don't have to shop.
Huh? Yeah, but I came here to buy something. When does it stop? At some point, we need to stop pushing this mess on children.
At this point, we're just going to have to ask you to leave.
I'll leave. Okay. And I won't spend any money at Lego.
Fantastic.
If you're in here right now, in here right now and you care about value, this store is intentional.
That's not getting the message over, I'm afraid, mate, but... look, well, how do you expect it to go? I'm sorry, they're in control, right, mate? You don't understand, right? This is Yahtzee occupied parish you're living in. It really is. A coup's happened, and they've taken over, and they're in charge. I mean, like, normality is trying to fight back, but not much. But like, yeah, what do you think was going to happen, man? It's like a Jew complaining about the pogroms. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Promoting LGBTQ behavior on children.
Sir, you're
spend your money in a place that doesn't do that to kids.
Sir, you're about to get trespassed.
Thank you.
Don't get trespassed. I mean, really? No, I get. What can I tell you? They're in control, mate. We live in weird times. We're living in weird times. I mean, like, is the Jesus-y looking boat. Like, he was a very European-looking Jesus as well, very rugged Jesus in the seventh sign, right? But is he going around cracking sills here and there? You know, I don't know. Who knows what dares to dream? Fine, let's get to the chat. There's so much to get to. Share screen. Hada! I will share screen with my share screen action. Doink. Fine. I forgot. You see, I make these in the morning and I totally forget what I did with them. Okay, I can't believe this thumbnail is out of date from this morning. That's unbelievable. It's $1 billion out of date. Check this out. First Doctor's going, oh, I want. By the way, just finished listening to Steve Noonan First Doctor set. Recommend. Unless it was shit, I wouldn't recommend it. It wouldn't be recommended, but because I like it, right? I like Stephen Noonan. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But first, we have the First Doctor saying, I wonder what happens to my old show in the space year 2023. Yeah. Like, could you imagine? It was like, what? Who's Iran? Who? What? Well, oh my Gideon. And then Dylan Mulvaney there, who I don't know. Is this an Andy Kaufman like goof? Because it's so obviously very weird, right? It's so obviously very strange, right? Is this an Andy Kaufman thing? I mean, he's making a ton of money out of it, right? Just a ton of money out of this. Although maybe not now, right? Man, this thumbnail's out of date. So far, Bud Light has lost $5 million. Actually, $6 million. They lost $1 billion, $6 billion. My mistakes. They lost because with sheer stupidity, right? I love the video of the VP go, inclusivity. No, I mean, okay, firstly, it wasn't a failing brand. It was a brand doing very well. But you want to appeal to its core demographic, the younger core demographic. Oh, I just dropped this phone. 1 second. All right. Firstly, instead of Dylan Mulvaney, Carl Rittenhouse, right? The hunter, the young hunter kind of guy, that sort of person, and Turning Point USA to get to campuses. Yeah, you will be huge, right? You're backing the wrong horse, Anheuser-Busch. You're backing the wrong horse. You should take a step back. Here's what you should do at this point, right? You should issue an apology. Say we're completely out of touch with our client base, and we were lecturing them, and we were just wrong. We were absolutely wrong. And thank you for bringing this for reacting this way, because we would never be able to change without this reaction. We are eager to change, and again, lean into a new campaign with Turning Point USA and Carl Rittenhouse, right? Be the beer of MAGA, right? Be the beer of MAGA, of young MAGA, all right? And you would do very well, you would, yeah. Here's the thing: people have to see not just the disadvantage of supporting ESG, but they got to see the advantage of rejecting it, and it's got to be huge, and it is huge. They do everything they can to suppress the metrics, but we know the metrics every time. It always, like Jodie Whittaker, it's like the sequel trilogy. We know how it goes, how it plays out every time. And there we go. We might do Mando tonight, maybe, don't know. Come on, I'm way better than Pedro Pascal, and we all know it. You actually are, right? You actually are. I have no problem with Pedro Pascal being cucked in his own show. He kind of deserves it, the little cuck that he is. Fine, someone says, Ross Davis is a buffoon. All he actually ever did was turn Doctor Who into a space crew. I'm going to disagree with you while I agree with you, I think, on the broader points. I don't think he's a buffoon, right? I don't think this has anything to do with intelligence, right? The place where society bifurcates, that splits into two, is at drag in 2023, right? Where it's being encouraged to be used as a gateway to underage transgender surgery, right? It's part of the LGBTQ plus IA alliance, right? Which is on board with transitioning children medically. Now, I'm very opposed to that, because it means that you will not be able, for boys anyway, you won't be able to ever have an orgasm. You won't be able to have sexual completion, right? That will never happen, because you don't have your dick, essentially, the way where the pleasure nerves are, but you have and instead you have a pouch that a guy can fuck and pretend it's a woman, right? But it's basically a pouch that they make. It's and you have to constantly lubricate it and shove things in it to keep it from sealing up, because it's essentially a wound, right? I think somebody should really think that through in an adult way before deciding to go through that, right? I think they should really, really think that through. I don't think a child has the cognitive ability to think that through. I don't think a child has the ability to give informed consent, right? So that's the problem with drag in 2023. I didn't make it, that problem. It was, you crazies, Rusty Davis, that put it all together in the alliance. Now, look, mate, I was with you in the 80s, right? I think you were screwed over. But I think you know, this is the point where we're at to grooming, right? I think drag is the point where it's at grooming, right? In 2023, right? And I'm a parent. And everybody here saying the opposite isn't a parent, right? So I think that makes a very, very important difference. So but I don't think it has anything to do with intelligence. It's kind of a mind control, right? Look, everything they think about Trump supporters, everything they think about everything is the opposite. It's the basic truth, right? They think Trump supporters were duped by Trump in a very. He's clearly a charlatan, and we just couldn't see through it because we're so slow-minded. But we're not really bad people. We're just tricked into being racist. They can't actually say how it's racist. Right, he's really went. Whoa, Charlottesville. I mean, at the time when he condemned racism. No, he didn't. People just don't know. And then when you tell them, they melt down. I know you've all had the same experience, right? I know you have, because we all have. That's a weird world we're living in, mate. Right? That is a weird world we're living in. But yeah, look, I just don't. I think it's more like a social media implanted mind virus that either takes or it doesn't. It worms its way towards your prejudices, but like, man, it's incredible how powerful it is, right? So I don't think he's stupid. I think he's been programmed to resist the idea that drag is being used to groom children because he feels that's he's being programmed to believe that's a right-wing conspiracy smear to made out of sheer hate. And I'd love to be able to talk to him and say, look, Russell, it's made out of love, right? No one had a problem with drag until Drag Queen Story Hour, right? That's where it became a problem, Russell, right? That's where it is. Why did you have to include children to this sexualized performance art, right? Why? That's the problem with drag now. I'm going to say it was sheer idiocy on the LGBTQ plus community to do so, right? Sheer idiocy, right? All it did is hurt everybody, right? It really genuinely did. And it's, it's really a shame, right? It's really genuine a shame. But what's he going to be? I don't know. So I'm hoping the Anheuser-Busch thing will make corporate reverberations, right? And it'll make the worst fears of the new Russell T Davies Doctor Who not be realizable, right? And for me, actually, I have to say, I find it a difference between a trans person who's in the middle of obviously in the middle of transitioning, right? And they want to be they're on the way to being another gender. But like, the Dylan Mulvaney's who likes being male dressed as a girl, right? He's not being a girl, he's being a boy dressed as a girl, and not even a girl, like a cartoon girl, right? I don't think they're presenting as feminine, and I think they're trolling everybody, right? I don't think Jinxman is trolling. I think, but that's what drag is doing essentially. It's like saying, "Oh, isn't this funny?" Because I'm not. This is an opposite, right? As well as the sexualization of it. But that's the problem with drag today, mate. It's not the problem I made, right? It's not the problem I bloody made. But it's like, again, I think it's a evil woke mind virus, right? I don't think stupidity. That's why I'm hopeful everybody can be woken up, right? That's why I am. I'm hopeful everybody can. I don't know though. No, I mean that's basically how I envisage a messianic age. Everybody waking up. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, man, so relaxing to start with. The Marvel trailer made me cringe so hard I clenched my teeth into a fist. It's. There's a reason. Jordan Lee. There's a reason they're hiding that in November next to Dune, right? There's a reason they're hiding that piece of shit. Because it's a piece of shit. It's a write-off. They're all write-offs. No Disney movie makes money anymore, right? They all fail. Every single one, they're just failing. All of them, right? Nothing's working because they just make shit. What was the name of that thing? Was it episodes or pages? Hang on. Episodes TV show. Is that the right one? Yeah. Yeah, it was Matt LeBlanc playing himself. Stephen Mangan and Tasman Gregg as these two writers who were lured over to America to do a TV show. And a real, like, showing you how the American TV system is, which I believe is entirely accurate. Episodes, I recommend that. There we go. Paul Tozer and Jonathan Cox is here. Man, I haven't even got to 7 o'clock. I haven't even got to 5 o'clock. Look at me. Lonnie is here. How you doing, Lonnie? Thank you for joining us. Sir Dervin of Kang Production. Hi. Hail, Sir Dervin of Kang Productions. Hail, sir. You're a sir. You must be treated with due deference and respect. Matt Jones says Grogu. What, you're taking him away from Disney, are you? Run, Matt Grogu. Matt Jones. They're gonna put Grogu with Ray. That's just gonna happen, okay? That's just gonna happen. Just know right now. Every version of voting is going to be traced back to intersectionality, which was born in the universes and spread like a virus throughout society. Yes, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, that's exactly right. Oleg Gang is here. Hey, dude, we just Melvin Death. That's Bill and Ted, right? To Bogus Journey. Being lesbian, gay, identity, LGBT are political movements. There's a difference. I agree with you. Karate change, screen action rabbi. Ta-dang! Yeah, I like that. But 6 billion. I know, 6 billion. Not 6 million, 6 billion. It's billion. They should be so lucky it's a million. 6 billion. Of their valuations last year, right? Can you believe that? It's they got. Do they have the whole thing? Hang on, how am I going to get to that? No. Bollocks. Do I want? I don't. Was it Future Right Beer? Is that worth trying to get to? Okay, no. I think I'm going to go for it. Here we go. So I got to turn the sound off on this pretty quick. No, and I'm too slow. Okay, okay, fine. So I go over here. What's this? Ultra Pro? What? Ultra White. Okay, is this real? This is hilarious. I hope this is real. This is really funny. This is really genuinely funny. Yeah. This is great. Let me just download this. YouTube downloader online. Doink. There we go. Where is this? I've got too many tabs open. Can't find anything, baby. Video file. What is this?
America's been drinking beer from a company that doesn't even know which restroom to use. That's why I created Conservative Dad's Ultra Right 100% woke-free beer.
Is that real?
As conservatives, we're constantly getting hit in the face, left and right, by the woke mind virus. But the last place we want it is in our beer. If you know which bathroom to use, you know what beer you should be drinking.
I have to tell you, I think beer was the one step to. I would have thought it'd be football, but no, it was beer. Thank you, Lonnie, for sharing this. This is awesome. I thought beer was the one step too far. Like, get off my beer.
Stop giving money to woke corporations that hate our values.
I love this ad. This is killing Bud Light, man. It's killing them. Their sales through Easter weekend through the toilet. I hope they go on. I hope they have to rebrand.
And to the rest of you woke corporations, stay the away from our kids.
Yeah, that was the line. You know, we should have done this at Drag Queen fucking Story Hour, quite frankly, and said no. Right? I'm sorry. I don't know why that has to involve my children. Ultra-right beer. Okay. Is it kosher?
Buy yours online in 42 states at ultrarightbeer.com.
Tastes like freedom.
Oh, you got to love the Americans. Oh, okay, fine. So disaster area. Thank you. No, Lottie, thank you for sharing that with me. Disaster area is the 18 disaster area. Thank you for joining us very much. RuPaul's Drag Race is a problem. It annoyed the hell out of me, and it didn't get started on Radio 2 hiring. But yeah, I mean, listen. I agree with you, right? Like RuPaul Drag Race as like a late night show, fine, okay, but that should be after 9 o'clock, right? That should be like, you know, in this later hours of the night, right? It's a highly sexualized, politicized, I don't know, erotic display. What do you want at me? Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. That's it. There you go. It was the this is totally frozen. Okay, finally moved again. Fine. It's the real thing. You're welcome. Thank you, Lonnie. Yeah, this is great. Woodhouse 122. I wouldn't class Bud Light as beer anyway. It's like Nat Smith. But here's the thing. It was the #1 seller. It owned the brand, right? Because it was cheap and it was available and it was there, right? It literally owned the entire everything. Blimey, $20 for a 6-pack. That sounds like a lot. Tastes like freedom. I don't know how much a 6-pack is normally. That just sounds like a lot to me, right? How much is a 6-pack of Bud Light? Okay, let's find out. I'll just Google it. How much is a 6-pack of Bud Light? Let's see what they say. What? That can't be. How much is a 6-pack of beers? Bud Light is like $6. Bloody hell. Okay, well, freedom isn't that. I guess freedom isn't free, baby. That's a lot of money. That's crazy. Okay, no, you can't sell it at 3 times the price. Are you out over 3 times? Are you out your bloody mind? Great ad, cute, but like, no. That's like you buy a 6-pack of and you put on the shelf, go, yeah, look at that. That's fun. And more than that, you don't. Yeah, this is not a Bud Light replacement, right? Are you out your bloody mind? I don't know. I think there's an opening for Newcastle Brown Ale. But Nuki Brown come to America. That's the way it should go. Fine. Let us look at this. I got a bunch of stuff. What are we going to get to first? Oh, I want to get the Bulls ups. That is a good article. They are good articles. Yeah. I think we also. But here, before we do that, we'll do this. I love fan creativity. I really do. This one knocks out the park. I saw the thumbnail and didn't bother watching the video because the thumbnail didn't look very good. Right? Always have a good thumbnail. The video, well, I don't think it's perfect. It looks fantastic. Here, so check this out.
You do, is it?
What?
Save young girls.
It's not quite that simple.
And you expect me to believe all this, do you?
It would certainly be nice if you did.
Oh, I'm sure it would.
I mean, look, this is great. This is from Dark Eyes. This is, I mean, the direction is perfect. Look at the lighting. I love this, right? And the atmosphere, it all is really. This is a great representation of Dark. I would love to get Daniel's take on it because he loves Dark Eyes, right? Daniel, yeah.
The doctor, I'm sure it would. But just tell me one thing. What happened to those other girls? What were their names? Lucy and Susan. If you're supposed to be so good at saving us girls, how come they're not here with you now?
I forgot how good this was. This is freaking awesome. Right? I mean, okay, it's also very good that it has, I mean, Dark Eyes is good, but this is what I keep telling you guys. You've got to understand. You can make an audio drama now on your own. You don't need actors, right? You really genuinely don't, right? And you can do this on your own. We're going to be making our own content. We are going to be making our own content. Once AI is let loose, we are going to be making our own content. It's just the way it is.
I knew it.
You what?
There's a secret. You're not telling me the whole story.
You would be here for the rest of your life if I were to tell you the whole story. Longer with all your interruptions, so if you will excuse me, I will just contact the Time Lords and tell them I've succeeded in my mission. I've found the girl whose DNA trace they detected. Then they can do with you whatever they want to do. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? I've got her. I've got Molly O'Sullivan. That's who you asked for, isn't it?
I told you something was broke. Oh, temper.
Oh, this is great. Wouldn't you love to watch this? I would watch a whole episode of this, like without play. This would be lovely. Oh man, I've got to give the guy a plug. Let's find his channel. There we go. 1 second. History. You know, I always have to remind myself, and I really shouldn't be that way, but this guy's called Adrian Parkinson. Let me find his channel. And he's got a bunch of other stuff going on. So it does this in the Unreal Engine or something along those lines. But okay, he's got more. Fine, we'll check out his more of his stuff in a second. But yeah, let me share his channel. Olegan says you can get Newly Brown in casinos in Vegas, public houses. Nuki Brown. There you go. Sorry, not Nuki. I was like, in the restaurant in the Luxor has it. Well, there you go.
Or temper.
Right. You just have to drop in and see them.
I thought this was absolutely excellent, right? Genuinely excellent. More of this, please. I mean, like, really. And we're so close, right? We're so close. Yeah, let me see what else we got here. I saw there's another Doctor Who one, the Star Trek one. NPR 5. There's a couple of these we're gonna get. These are really excellent. Grab this one. I'm just like, there's lots of them I want to grab. I'll be fascinated to know how he does this stuff. I should invite him onto the channel. Doink. Well, somebody told me, well, didn't tell me. They hinted I might be on a BBC blacklist. I like anybody on a BBC production. I would be somebody there. The publicity would decline to allow them to appear on. Right? I think that would actually make a bit of sense. That puts a few things that I never really understood into context. Like, oh, that's why that happened. That was really strange. But yeah, it's weird. It is weird when those things happen. So let's look at Captain Kirk first.
Kirk to Enterprise. Scotty, if you can hear me, please respond.
And again, how long is it till we can get like self-gen? I mean, I'm surprised we don't have it already. Like self-animating models like that. I mean, I really don't know why we don't have them already. Maybe we do. Here's another bit of his animation. I mean, look at this. It's excellent. Oh, I love it.
Forces have exterminated all resistance. Daleks are inevitable. Alert! Life form approaching.
Okay, that ball isn't great. You've been better on AI. But, like, what the hell? Look at this. Is beautiful.
Identify yourself.
I am usually referred to as the Master.
Oh, and he had the Khan music sting as he came in. Oh, that was very good. Yeah, that was very good. Here, did he write any information about that on this clip? That was very, very clever. And NPR animation encountering the Doctor and the Master. What's NPR? I don't know what NPR animation is. Yeah, now we got to look that up. Man, this is a rabbit hole. Because how do you do NPR animation? No, NPR animation. I don't know what it is. Synthesizing NPR navigating animation. But what the hell is this? NPR animation? What is? Oh, Blender NPR animation. So what is that? Wow. Okay, so they do this in a thing called Blender. I think I've heard about Blender. Wow. Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. So there's tools are out there, right? Very, very impressive though. I think it was absolutely excellent, right? Yeah, very good. So what are we going to look at next? Go over here. Where is it? Don't. Oh. Clicked on the right thing, then clicked on the wrong thing. Man, that one, we did that one. Yeah, just one more look at this thing. This is from Ollie London, who's very anti all this stuff. Now, Unreal 5. Non-player models and Blender animation over Unreal landscape, I think. Looks cool to me. Didn't understand any of that. In the light of the backlash against Bud Light and now losing over $6 billion in brand value, Anheuser-Busch, the brand's parent company, is reportedly temporarily halting marketing efforts to reevaluate the brand's advertising strategies. The brand will also in future evaluate all influencer partnerships with a more robust approach while carefully vetting influencers that enter into paid partnerships with the brand. Okay, not going good for them, shall we say? Didn't work out very well. Okay, let's get to the 10 times the Doctor made. Is this the 10 times the Doctor made obvious mistakes, or 10 times the show made obvious mistakes? Where is it? Come here. God, every time I see her, I just giggle. I'm sorry, she's so like, icky thump. Oh, get my hands on my hit acting. Oh, I must be authoritative. No, you so weren't. She was so shit in the role. I mean, she was. God bless her. Right? God bless her. So fine, there's 2 of these. Let's start with this one first. Because she was so shit. 10 times Doctor Who made obvious mistakes. Well, you can't count. Can you count this era as one? Like the whole 13th Doctor era was an obvious mistake. I mean, honestly, it was an obvious mistake, wasn't it? I mean, like, we all obviously saw it. I mean, I was a naive, big, crappy idiot that went, oh, yeah, this could work. No, I was wrong, wasn't I? Unlike the main characters, Doctor Who producers sadly don't have the access to a time machine. Well, we could have told you everything that was going to happen. Everybody made mistakes, even the Doctor, But at least he has a time machine and an infinite regeneration. No, he doesn't. That's bullshit. Infinite regeneration with which to make amends. Okay, no. It's just like, okay, tell me you don't know anything about Doctor Who without saying I don't know anything about Doctor Who. Who is this person? Mark Donaldson, are you out of your mind? You wrote a good article the other day that I praised. How can that be? In all the high-pressure world of television production, however, there's never enough time, never enough money. There's often that's often how mistakes get made. Okay, no. Chris Chibnall is how that mistake got made, right? Hiring Chris Chibnall, and that mistake got made by Piers Wenger, right? These are single people mistakes, right? Because their culture was one of complete stupidity, right? Complete and total stupidity. Yes. Like, why do you think that everybody stopped watching the BBC's output, right? It's not, they didn't go to Netflix. They went nowhere bloody else, right? Because people don't watch shit. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, I said this the other day. And it's so true, right? I haven't tested it out, but I really want to. Your boy Zach was saying, this first bit's true, saying, when I try and watch modern movies, it takes me about a month because I can only do like 20 minutes, at most. Right? I'm like that with Avatar too. I really can. However, watch a bad movie, right? From about 15, 20 years ago, like X-Men 3, you'll be able to sit through the whole thing without blinking, right? You have no idea how much they got us used to shit. Okay. William Hartnell's Lion Flasks were legendary, but they were a product at the time where where the second takes were nigh on possible. But if we're honest, those Lion Flasks helped to humanize the first Doctor, making him a cuddly grandfather that he quickly became. Well, that's a fair argument. Fine. Not all the mistakes in Doctor Who have led to unintended positive results. However, some mistakes have overshadowed the lead actor at the time when they should have been the front and center. Well, that is true. Well, it depends, actually. I don't know. I mean, like, overshadowing Jodie Whittaker was a good idea because she was awful, right? They just hide her, right? Why just admit you got it wrong? No. Too bloody easy. That would be too simple, wouldn't it? When they should have been center center, while the others threatened to ruin legendary Doctor Who monsters for good. Okay. However, almost all of these Doctor Who moments were made out of the side to improve the show or push it in a new direction. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. As the old saying goes, the road to fear her is paved with good intentions. Well, okay. Fear her, I would let off the hook a little bit. Fine. The 12th Doctor's time slot, yes. Unlike the cushy time slot of Jodie Whittaker, if he had the 7 o'clock time slot, the solid 7 o'clock Sunday night time slot, he would have been huge. Absolutely huge. Capaldi era would have likely done better in the Sunday slot occupied by Jodie Whittaker. Absolutely, it would have done. The issue with 8 p.m., sometimes 8:30 Saturday evening slot for Peter Capaldi's episode, it's ridiculous. Deciding quickly between Strictly Come Dancing, the subsequent results. However, young kids were being put to bed by the time the tune kicked in. Yeah, it was too late. While older kids who grew up with Matt Smith were out drinking cider on park benches. I agree with you. If you put it on at I don't know, 7 o'clock on Saturdays, it would have done. But it's 6:30 even, quite frankly. Right? It actually would have done a lot better. Worse of the constant sluffering about the start times only served to confuse those already who stayed at home. The Capaldi era had aired, if they had carried aired Sunday evening after Country File, however, it would have had a much more captive audience. Yeah, I know. And still, he did better than Jodie Whittaker. In an era where pop culture juggernaut shows no longer air at Saturday tea time, preferring slots like Sunday, House of the Dragon, Last of Us, or Friday, Star Trek Picard. No, I do it on Thursday. But Doctor Who still doesn't sit comfortably on a Saturday night anymore. It's not a hospital soap like Casualty nor no, it's its own thing, right? It's a prestige families sci-fi drama that may be better placed elsewhere in the week. Believe me, you can build a schedule around that. You really can. Granted, this could change the new Russell T Davies era, but the constant shuffling around the 12th Doctor on the Saturday night schedule did prove that Davies may have to have a hard time relaunching the show between Michael Minento and national lottery results. I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do. Right, I would have thought that's exactly what he's going to go for. Right, I think that's exactly what he's going to go for. The Dalek voice isn't there. The Daleks. Well, you got the new version now, which I find I just watched it, right, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, you go like, what? I mean, if you see, it's just weird. It's really weird. When the Day of the Daleks aired in January 1972, it had been 5 years since the Daleks, last Dalek, the Evil of the Daleks. I didn't realize that. In an age where repeat screenings were rare and VHS and DVD, Blu-ray and streaming services were non-existent, yeah, taking the future there, it was no surprise that these voice actors, Oliver Gilbert and Peter Messling, struggled with convincingly replicate the classic third Doctor series. Let me see if I can pull up a little bit. 1 second of the original. I'm sure I have it somewhere. 1 second. I mean, yeah. Well, so it's video file. Go to share screen. Where am I? So go to. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there you go. I guess go to that folder. It's opening up. Thinking about it. There you go. I gotta go sort the folder. Write the theme tune. Hang on. There you go. Turn my camera back on. There you go. Doink. Where is it? Doink. So they're the Daleks. HD. Start with this one. I think part 2. The Daleks are in it. Oh, but we'll go for part 4, right? They should be easy to find here. Here. Yeah, the guy who did the animation was about the same, right? So the special edition is much better. Yeah, let me just contrast that, because it really is a bit lame. It was. Do we have another bit with them just talking with each other? Oh, here. Yeah, well, why is it so effete then? The Dalek, like, yeah, let's do the special edition, because I feel bad leaving it on that. Where is the special edition? Oh my God, it's so much better in every way.
You are the Doctor. You are an enemy of the Daleks. Now you are in our power. You will be exterminated.
Yeah, it sounds like Daleks, right? Now I kind of like that better, right? Yeah. Doink. Screen. Doink. What was it? So when they couldn't. They got the settings wrong. I think it's unclear why Barry Letts and director Paul David didn't hire old pros like Roy Skelton, Peter Graham, or David Hawkins. So they probably didn't know about them, frankly. But on reflection, that's precisely what they should have done. The mistake led to the Dalek sounding quite shrill, unthreatening, and worse by the small number on screen. Well, that's also improved on the special edition. But on the plus side, Day of the Daleks classic is a classic despite the casting mistaking the casting mistake and a paltry Dalek count. It's essentially the Terminator with Daleks. It actually is, right? And both Barry Lett's novelization and the 2011 CGI update of the story puts up in the full glory. Particularly, Nick Briggs stepped in to record new Dalek voices 2011. Who else? Exactly. Okay, they didn't need to put the last two words in the sentence. Shooting the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos. First draft. You don't need the first draft, right? Just shooting it, right? Just shooting it was enough, right? That was a mistake. Every episode in this season was unwatchable shit, right? Don't sugarcoat this one. In 2022 interview, Doctor Who magazine, Chris Jimmer revealed that Jodie Whittaker's first finale, The Battle of Ranskor of Kolos, was the first draft script that didn't feel like a finale. It was shit, right? He's not wrong either. The whole point of the Tim Shaw attempting to use a planet smasher against us should have felt more epic than it ultimately did. Having spent the time introducing Yatta's family in the previous episodes, it would have been nicer to go back to Tim Shaw carrying out his plan. It was overshadowed by the CGI looking, mildly scuffed from some sci-fi edit, whatever. It was shit. Chris Jimmer stated that he had to work on rewriting scripts on other season 11 writers. They were all shit, okay? None of them were presentable, right? None of them would have made any other era. So he had generally no time to work on the Battle of Ranskor of Kolos. It's a story about how traveling with the Doctor has helped Graham move on from the grief he chose. That was just tacked on. The main story was boring as hell. Trial of the Time Lord. Yeah, well, this was unfortunate, right? This was Eric Saywood was fucked off beyond fucked off. He couldn't stand John Nathan Turner, this was John Nathan Turner's idea, and Eric's like, yeah, whatever, who gives a shit? Whatever, right? And then he wouldn't even let him do the thing he wanted him to do. So he's like, yeah, fuck off, leave me alone. Right? That's essentially what happened. There's an admirable degree of showmanship in John Nathan Turner's decision to respond to the BBC's declining opinion of Doctor Who putting it on trial. However, the fundamental flaw in the plan is it required the viewers to sign on for 14 episodes and had a very nonsensical plot due to the newest behind-the-scene issue that plagued the writing process. That's true. BBC controller Michael Grade set up John Nathan Turner failed by claiming the show was cheap by refusing to increase the budget. Still, excuse me. It was cheap because it didn't know how to use its budget. You will notice as soon as Andrew Cartmel came in, right? He took a year to work out how things worked. And he talked about this, right? He said, look, I know the BBC can't do spaceships very well, but they can do historicals. They can do, peerage. They could do the 1960s. They can't do like the 26th century, those, right? So, and he was starting to write into the strengths of the BBC, right, and the production system, right. It did look cheap under Eric Saywood, John Nathan Turner. It's true. Still, the everything excellent tune. John Nathan Turner managed to do some incredible things to make the show look a bit better. The opening flyby of the Gallifrey, the space station. But it rapidly falls back into the cheap narcissist that Grade has singled out. He's right. Colin Baker has often cited that a grotesquely miserable story like Mind Warp appears, which the Doctor shows to be appalling and very. Yeah, but it does have Perry strapped down to a beach with buckets of water being hurled over her. I'm basically okay with it. Like the S&M Dr. Perry fantasy, I was kind of into, right? That kind of worked for me, right? I cannot tell a lie, right? I cannot tell a lie. Oh, my back, it's freaking killing me. I have to get up. Where are we up to? These are the main sort of scene.
who has been turned off Doctor Who by the grisliness of the throttling of the parrot. No, in the Twin Dilemma, not really. Yeah, no, people kind of like that. I hate to tell you, it was the 80s. People like that hyper-violence thing, right? It was the thing. The new paradigm Daleks. That was a mistake, right? Look, in the defense, I've read all the like the specials, the Doctor Who magazine specials, making of everything. On paper, they look great. On the whole idea of them like brightly coloured Teletubby sort of things, that was very on brand for the era, right? It was a new, interesting take on it. The action figures look great. I got all of them. Actually, I got 2 red ones, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 white, and 1 orange. Strategist, scientist. That was all cool, right? And we thought that the humpback thing would like deploy super, a Dalek armory at some point, right? So yeah. But then when they saw them in real life and they were shit, they kind of quickly forgot about them. They just didn't look real or threatening. Is the problem? They look too bumper carish, right? They're very marketable, right? But coming from like the real grittiness of the bronze ones, this was a bit agonizing, right? A little bit agonizing. Now, I wouldn't just take my word on for these things, right? I wouldn't take my word for it alone. Look, some people like the weird sex toy looking Dalek, right? Some people like that, which definitely look at those ridges on the neck slap there. That is definitely Toblerone style sex toys. Oh, you didn't know Toblerone was a sex toy? Really? Why do you think they make it that way? Really? It's made for deep perversion, and that's why they make it nutty brown, baby. That's why they make it nutty brown. I'm saying no more, right? I'm saying no more. But you know who knows about these sort of things? As we find out the press often, royalty does know. They're not estranged from the idea of shoving a Toblerone up their arse, right? I have to tell you, I've never asked my next guest, has he ever shoved a Toblerone up his arse? I don't know if he would answer. Listen, I have to tell you, if you have, I would like to know more about it. Okay, yeah, I would just find that interesting. Very good. So I don't know if my next guest rectum has ever been spoiled by Toblerone, like true royalty would expect, who you would expect to. Let's find out. It is a royalty of a very approachable nature. It is, of course, Birmingham's King of the Geeks, Dan Hadley from the Spacebook. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Yes, that's even the thought of that is eye-watering. I was just thinking, how could one train one's cutter to break off at least half a Toblerone, because they're quite long. They're tricky customers, I would imagine. For the average.
Next time you have a Type 40 live, right? You have to ask people on the clubbing scene what they think about Toblerone, right? I think you'll get some surprising responses.
Well, also they come in. You get them in the long cardboard tubes, but they're also wrapped in foil too, so they're double protected. Now, I always assumed that was so that the chocolate would stay fresher for longer, but I think we may have uncovered something.
They're there so they can be sheathed, right? They can be.
I think it's a possibility. I think it is.
I think it's a probability.
There's some serious perverts over there at Toblerone. I think we can say
literally everywhere. Right, literally everywhere. Serious perverts, right? That's just the way of the world nowadays, mate. It's just, we live in strange times. So I was offline a little bit this week for the Jewish holiday. For me, it feels like Sunday, right? Because we just had like a Jewish holiday yesterday, so it was like Sabbath. So so for me, Sunday's the first day of the week after that. So I'm just confused. And then tomorrow's Sabbath, so I'm just more confused.
How was Passover? Did it all go okay?
Oh yeah. I mean, do I have the this time? Let me throw this up 1 second. Doink. I'm not sure. This is the video you might want to check out.
Well, I did see obviously I listen and watch to as much of your content as I possibly can.
But I put out way too much.
It's quite difficult. You pop up everywhere. If it's not a long form video, you're there shouting at me in one of those short things. Or when I turn on my phone, you're there. Like, what the hell?
I haven't done one of those for a bit. I'm like, that's kind of the YouTube algorithm, and I'm not really that bothered by it. Like, honestly, I don't give a shit about YouTube anymore right now. I mean,
it's YouTube's latest fad, isn't it? They're determined to get people doing them, but they were determined to get people doing all sorts of things, and they never really
doing them. But like, I get fantastic viewership results on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, please subscribe. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers on Rumble.
We're over on Rumble now as well as the Type 40's on Rumble. So look for Type 40 Doctor Who podcast, and you'll start to see material turning up there with stuff's over there that hasn't even been on YouTube. So that's how I'm hoping to grow a little bit of an audience over there on Rumble while I weigh things up.
This is what I discovered. Rumble. Actually, there's two things I've discovered. Firstly, Rumble likes live streams the best of all, right? They like live streams a lot. They promote my live streams, and they normally do I normally do 3 to 4 times the views that I do on.
Really, it's growing by the
week.
Yeah,
it really is
totally
great.
Deserved.
So I also got this other series I'm putting out every day as a live stream from about a couple of years ago. This like personal growth thing from.
I remember.
Yeah. So I'm putting that out, but okay, little technical tip here for you. If you use a thing called StreamYard, you can upload a video to it, and then you can broadcast that video as live, right?
As if it's live, yeah, I've seen.
So what I do is I upload a video to StreamYard, then I set up it to be a live stream on Rumble, right? And so the feed from StreamYard goes to Rumble, and it feels like live. Those things are getting like 300-400 views, which I was like,
well
really?
Done.
So I think like having the double content go out is helping me, and the varied content. But the other thing I found out was one time I didn't put one of those in the category of vlogs. I made a mistake, and it didn't get any views at all. So this time I normally put this in the category of entertainment, but tonight I'm putting it in the category of vlog. See if I see any discernible difference, right? People.
I noticed that there's no Rumble app on the App Store in Britain, which seems like a major.
It depends on the App Store, though, because some people do have it. I think it might be on the iOS, but I'm not sure if it's on the Android. Right, is that Aero Milk? Oh my God, that sounds like the greatest invention ever. I literally just got an erection. Oh my God.
This is a protein shake. So when you've been working out, I've just done some time in the gym.
A drinkable version of the chocolate bar Aero. Do you still have those in England?
Yes, and I think there is a milkshake version of it as well.
That's what I thought you were drinking. I was like, oh my God, that looks incredible, right?
You can get Aero. Were you still in the UK when there was Aero Mint?
Yes, the best one ever.
You can get. I think you can get them in milkshake form. I'm sure that somebody in the chat will tell me.
Fine. What's that? I was talking about this earlier, but I'm interested to get your take on things. But so, did anything happen this week? Like when I was offline, it seems like basically that there seems to be radio silence since Jinx Monsoon.
As regards Doctor Who, yeah, it's all gone. It's all gone suspiciously quiet. Now, I think that what you were saying is probably on the money. Just like with the Doomsday thing, they saw the ripples of that, and then Jinx Monsoon. I've no doubt that Russell believes that he is just and righteous in the decisions that he's making. But they also have, Bad Wolf is not a tin pot organization. This is a big setup, seriously big. Until quite recently, I don't think I was aware how big it is. It's a big setup. They will have people watching all of us.
It's very, very corporate orientated, which means I think this thing is having massive reverberation around the world, right?
This is changing everything. I wouldn't say changing everything overnight, but people are raising the red flag and saying, okay, this is taking the slash now. Because if I didn't know better, I'd assumed this was a massive, deliberate grift on the part of this character to make as much money in as short time as possible and then bugger off, basically.
I don't know if he's doing. You know, Andy Kaufman, who
I remember Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, so he could be Andy Kaufman because he's so clearly not presenting as a female, right? He's so clearly showing off him being not female, right? Showing off being masculine, wearing heels and makeup. It seems like he's trolling, right? It seems like he's trolling the people that are streaming for him.
Women have every right, in my opinion, to be offended by this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a bit woman facey. I mean,
I don't find it offensive. I mean, I don't find it entertaining.
No. I said woman face-y. You know, like black face. This is woman face. Right?
I think that's. I've heard that expression. Yeah, somebody when I was live streaming last week, somebody mentioned that in the live chat, and it was like a hashtag. I thought, God, yeah, you know, that's right. It's bang on, really. I don't think you can explain it simpler than that.
So I think this is. Firstly, I remember what was it? Midnight Sage had a very good video. So yeah, I like Andre from Midnight Sage. I like how
I do too.
And you can you just get to know everything on a subject that you're interested about.
Yeah,
so he was talking about there's a guy who's trying to get a seat on the board at Disney that will give him creative control, right? I think there's a very good chance this thing with Anheuser-Busch will make it a corporate necessity that, like, give him the juice he needs to get on the board. And I think this is going to stop all the trans stuff in its tracks. Like it's been such an insane shock to the system, right? They're like, what?
People aren't on board for this.
Yeah, no, you know what? I think it was just, and now nobody's on board for anything, right? This was the straw that broke the camel. Although this is the point where society bifurcates, right? This is the point where society doesn't. If you don't have kids, everybody's saying, oh, you know, you should trust children to have their dick cut off. None of them have had kids, right? None of them have raised children. Nope. It's without fail. Like Daniel Radcliffe, I was going on about last night. None of them have had any kids.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is making. I've always quite liked him, but he's making an absolute abject fool of himself at present. And I know he means well, and he knows no better.
He does mean well. That's the thing, but they're just a prick that don't know anything.
No. And there are people out there as well that are misreading the situation. There are people within our own community, and even on this side of the aisle, people who've been with us on this side of the aisle for several years who are reading this situation wrong as well. You know, I've been approached, shall I say, publicly on Twitter as well by somebody who's a friend, a pal of mine. You know, somebody I've made a podcast with, who I think, based on the live stream that I did last week, seems to believe that I'm a homophobe. Because of what I said for what I broadcast about drag queens, you know, it just goes to show. And because, but that gentleman, I'm sure he won't mind me saying he's got no children. Like you say, he doesn't. You know, it's. I don't think he's the best one in the world. I don't think he understands exactly what's going on. I think a lot of people. I think there are people who understand. And there are people who don't, and the people who understand are saying, no, and they've drawn the line. This is too much. I've laughed at drag queens as much as anybody else over the years, but this is far too much.
It all fell apart with Drag Queen Story Hour, right? That's where everything blew up, right?
Do you remember a song?
At all, and we should have had this reaction then. Right, if we had this reaction, then there'll be. I think the world would have been a better place. But
do you remember a song in the 90s, Rabbi? I don't know if you heard it wherever you were around 1997, 1998. There's a band called the Manic Street Preachers, who are a Welsh rock band, and they put out a song called. I know it's better than it sounds. Actually, pretty good. And one of their singles was "If You Tolerate This, Then Your Children Will Be Next."
They were right. No, I don't remember. Look, honestly, at 97, I just got married. I had my first kid. I couldn't see straight. I didn't know up or down. not. Yeah,
Oh God, yeah, you really know the meaning of the word knackered, then, don't you? When
yeah,
you're the
God,
first kid.
yeah. And I think no. Okay, I had 2 children within 11 months of each other. Like my wife had 1 kid, and then 11 months later she had another kid.
That's even quicker than me. I had. Let me get this right. I had 3 children in the space of 20 months.
Whoa.
April 99, my eldest. April 99. In fact, it's his 24th birthday tomorrow. My eldest son was born April 99, and then I had twins in February 2001.
Twins doesn't count. I mean, it counts.
Actually, what, it counts at 3 o'clock in the morning, my friend. I promise you.
No, okay.
With 2.
What's worse?
Can't see straight.
How long was it between the kids? Oh,
just over 18 months.
That's the worst, right? That's much worse than twins. I'll tell you why. Because at twins, at least they're all at the same stage. We're boring the hell out of everybody. At twins, they're all at the same stage. But when they're 18 months apart, you're doing 2 totally different things that need 100% attention, right? Yeah. It's totally worse, right? Yeah. So there you go. Fine. I was going through an article, but how long are you staying for?
I'm around for a little while. I'll stay for another 20, 30 minutes if you'll have me. I haven't got a Toblerone to hand. I'm sorry to disappoint. Well. If you'd have called ahead, we could.
How to get ahead of Toblerone? Fine. Oh no, no spoilers for Mando or Star Trek.
Yes, that's my Friday night sorted. Can't wait.
Okay.
Oh, Star Wars, mate. I don't know what you've got planned because I haven't seen the thumbnail. But Ray coming back.
Well, again, that was my thing, right? There's been in the last week and a half, there's been a real resurgence of evil. Right? There's been a real like you had all these awful shows, movies and shows announced at Disney, right? Like just like all of them, right? And we know they're all going to fail. Right, we know the end of the story, that they're going to be hiding it in November under Dune, so they won't be as embarrassed when they release their piece of shit commentary. Right, we know how this story ends. Right, with you failing.
You saw Did you see the Marvels trailer? Then have you watched that?
Yes. It's everything you would expect. Right, it's literally everything you would expect. It's although I thought Brie Larson was slightly hotter in it than I thought she would be. So
I've always thought she was really fit. That's the conflict
she just
that I have.
Me off with that like Brie Larson vibe.
Tiny waist, big jugs. Yeah,
but
that does it for me.
Then you get the idiot condescending face, which the combination is pretty bad. But this is insane. And who's directing it? It's directed by Shamin Obid Chinoy, who's done Pakistani lesbian documentaries. And I'm not joking. That's literally what she's done. And an episode of Miss Marvel.
Wow. Those are credentials, strange credentials to go and work on what was supposed to be. I mean, what's his name? One of the Bobs, I can never remember which Bob it is that's still there, said that this is it was Kevin Feige, said this was the most important and the best movie that they've put out since Avengers Endgame.
Well, then they're fucked. And they're totally and completely fucked because this is garbage, right? This was exactly Doomcock's rumor. It's either Doomcock or Midnight's Edge. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Doomcock, right? They're going to do a movie. They basically done a movie by committee, and it's going to be. They've identified the best characters, the people love most. It's R2-D2, Chewbacca, Baby Yoda, and Rey.
Yep.
Yeah, no, people don't like Rey. This is just them desperately trying to save some of the money they wasted on like things like the Galactic Star Cruiser. Like they go, maybe we can make it so people no. And this is just idiotic, failed thinking over and over again.
I can understand why they want to salvage the character of Rey, But the problem that they've got is that there's no salvaging Daisy Ridley's performance of that character.
There's no salvaging the lack of character in that character.
Yeah, it needs a complete relook.
Right. There's no polishing that turd. Right. And the thing is that they really could have pulled it off with a different. Can you imagine how much better the Star Wars universe would be in now for Disney if they just remade The Last Jedi? Right. Just listen to the fans.
For a long time, I used to laugh that off, but
Me too.
I think
now,
but the more I think about it, the more I think about it, I think we're getting to the point where something like that is feasible, creatively feasible, and financially would probably be their best option.
They ended up shooting these movies twice now.
Yeah, twice anyway. So
and but also it showed how creatively bankrupt J.J. Abrams really was with The Rise of Skywalker, right? Like, he showed he had no plan whatsoever. It was all set up, and none of them could write a story. That was the bottom line. George Lucas could write a story. He might not like the story, but he could write a story.
Who'd have thought that a Star Wars movie would come out that would be completely forgettable? A Star Wars film that nobody can remember anything about.
The only thing interesting at all in the Star Waters universe is Mandalorian. Everybody hates it. I quite like it.
I've fallen behind with it by a couple of weeks. I've been watching. I've been keeping up with Picard, but the Mandalorian I fell behind for a couple of weeks. So I'm sort of I'm out of love with it, I think, but I still think it's okay.
It's basically the Bo-Katan show, which I quite like, right? That's what this here is. This is she is the main character. She's absolutely the protagonist now. I'm fine with it.
Do you think it's that they're doing that to placate the people who miss Gina Carano? Because Katie Sackhoff
No. They're doing that to fit in the Kathleen Kennedy's insane plan to make people like women.
Make Star Wars completely led by women.
Right. The new everything's led by. I mean, you've seen the Ahsoka Tano trailer.
Did I see that trailer? Yes, I did. Again, I quite liked that.
I don't know. To me, it looked like Ahsoka Tano and a stunning gal pals. Right, I'm just
fair
here's
enough.
the thing: I've had a lot of female-led sci-fi over the last few years, and I have an aversion to it now because it's very bad. Right, it's all you've just done very bad things over and over again.
More often than not, yeah.
Right. Grant Gustin says he wanted the Flash to die at the end of the season. I couldn't care less. Stopped watching years ago. Rumor. Note star Stephen Yeun, also at the beginning of what's the word again? Walking Dead, to portray a race swap version of Sentry in Marvel. That doesn't bother me at all.
No, they're casting that guy to play the Sentry.
Is that I know nothing about the Sentry.
It looks physically nothing whatsoever like him.
Okay. That's strange. Well, they said undergoing a rewrite. Original script reportedly put too much focus on returning Black Widow characters instead of entire team. Like, honestly, why are they bothering? Why are they? Do they think this is going to work at the box office?
I don't know why they're bothering with any of it. To be honest, I think it's quite clear there's no appetite for any of it anymore.
Right. I mean, okay. This actually sounds. Also, they like Mando this week because it had a pro-gun message. So this is interesting. This is interesting. HBO announces new Game of Thrones prequel series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdom: The Hedge Knight. Are you a Game of Thrones Bucky? Like, you are an expert, or do you just watch?
No, I love House of the Dragon.
I like House of the Dragon.
I'm sort of back on board with Game of Thrones. I'm interested. I've got an ear for whatever's going on with this franchise now. Now they seem to have corrected it, but I don't know whether this will be from a. I don't know whether this will be from a book. I couldn't tell you what is a book or short story that comes from Martin and what doesn't. No idea.
Fine. So the other thing is going to fill the Hedge Knight. It's they did a Hedge Knight graphic novel. Okay, interesting. Essentially,
that's a terrible title. That is an awful title for any kind of production.
It is. So essentially, before events of Game of Thrones. So this is just before. This is about 50 years before House of the Dragon. Then, right? The two how far? I think around maybe the same time. Two unlikely heroes wandered in the Westeros. A young, naive, courageous knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and a diminutive squire, Egg. This it can be set in the age of the Targaryen line, still holds the Iron Throne, and the memory of the last dragon had not yet passed from living memory. So this is after House of the Dragon, then, because there's no living dragons anymore, right? Great destinies and powerful foes, and dangers and exploits all await those improbable and incomparable friends. You know what Star Wars really should do for streaming content? I just realized this. They should hire J.R.R. Martin to plot a multi-season Star Wars set universe set political Game of Thrones-esque epic, right? Where and not write the thing, but like just do the plot, come up with the thing, the template, the plot,
framework of it,
framework for it, and then have other writers fill it in, because there's such a potential for that. Because that's something I do like in Mandalorian, that you have other cultures in the same. You have the Mandalorian culture in the Star Wars universe, and the same as the Jedi culture, and they seem kind of
I agree,
comparable to one another.
Star Wars has the same kind of prestige that Game of Thrones had, and has sort of managed to claw back, mostly, I think, thanks to House of the Dragon. Star Wars used to have that. I think that the reason why, not the reason why they've lost it, but the reason why they can't get it back is because they refuse to form allegiances, to employ people who are capable of doing that kind of work.
Because they're racist and they only hire people of the right racial makeup. Right? I mean, that's really the issue. It's crazy. Oh, so this is wonderful. The wailing and the gnashing of teeth, right? Harry Potter TV series announced that will adapt J.K. Rowling's original book. Oh, they're going to adapt the original. Oh, wait, so this is a reboot. They're
remaking everything. They're remaking the books this time as a TV show.
So
initially, I was dead against this. I mean, at the moment, I feel like I will not watch this. I mean, it's at least 2 to 3 years away.
This is the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah, everything about it. At the moment, though, I mean, for all that, I think that I just think there are other things to watch, and that it hasn't been that long since they were out first. But of course, I think problem being, I think he was the one that said to me that it's annoying all the right people. So I'm sympathetic to them.
That is true. It is making them all crazy. I saw somebody sent me a tweet from Mr. Trilby. He was so bad. Good luck getting millennials to act in your transphobic.
Yeah, with a few quid, that'll be fine.
This is not a dumb idea, right? They should be exploring the Harry Potter universe, right? That's what they should be doing. This is.
I agree. They built something with those Fantastic Beasts films, and I know that apparently they went off the boil, but the principle behind them was sturdy enough. There's enough lore.
Transfer to a streaming service.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, it's it really could. What are we up to? New rumor claims to reveal the ending of the upcoming Ahsoka series. You don't want me to check that?
New rumor, the ending of the Ahsoka show. Well, I'm not interested. I'm going to watch that, so I don't want to know the ending of it.
Okay, fine. If we weren't here, I wouldn't want to go in. So the reason I didn't give the Mario Brothers movie a look is because I thought it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought it was the Seth Rogen thing. So I thought it was going to be woke, and I wasn't really interested in it. Yeah.
Now, I haven't paid it much attention either. I'm just not a Mario guy. I don't know anything about it. I've never played a Mario game.
It's doing very well. Fine.
I'm delighted to see it's doing so well. Really am.
Let's see what's going on then, Doctor Who. Fine, I got to pick out articles to do a video on for tomorrow, right? So, what happened to the new paradigm? Don't know. Tenant meets meat creators. A confidential return. Yeah, they basically confirmed that, right? I thought they confirmed that in Radio Times the other day.
Yeah, I mean they're making a bit of a meal of it, aren't they?
I mean, they really are.
Else to talk about.
They really genuinely are. Fine. Okay, I was in the middle of going through this article. Where was it? Do you want to join me for the end of it?
Well, I've got to shoot in a moment, really, because I'm recording something in the not too distant future. I'm dropping a new podcast later on tonight on the channel. I've got a little thumbnail for that down there, so I'm dropping that later. But I'm recording tonight as well. I'm recording next week's podcast. So in case you haven't seen these, everybody, this is coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Myself and Simon Horton have a very open and engaging conversation with Tasha Akaleus. If you know Chris's work,
this is you had a very good interview with Chris Akaleus, didn't you?
Yeah, that was about 2.5 years ago. It was just over a year before he died. Right? This is his wife, yeah. So she came on to talk about their life together and about Chris's work. And because Simon, as you can see, there's Simon with Tasha. So they met at a convention last year. And she wanted to come on the show and have a chat. And so this is what we do. We pay tribute to Chris. We chat through his work, their life together. And so it's a very open conversation. I'd like to think it's very entertaining. It's quite spiritual. It's, again, this is the kind of content that I like to put out. So it may be only half of it is related to Doctor Who. The rest is sort of something else. I think
more holistic. But do you get comments like this on your channel? Because Matthew Burrows, that's why we're happy you're here. At least Maria's hot. Jodie makes Nora Batty look like Tracy Lords. That's terrifying.
Yeah, Tracy Lords was she was very hot. Great big. No, I won't say that. I won't say that word.
A great big star.
Yes, yes. So so there's our chat with Tasha. That's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. and the podcast of that's out tomorrow all across the podcatchers. And if you didn't catch it, there's also my video podcast. That's up to where I caught up with the cast and crew behind the audio drama Me and Him and Who. So that's the classic series writer Stephen Wyatt, who wrote Paradise Towers and Greatest Show. And Christopher Gard, who played Bellboy in Greatest Show, he's there too, as was the producer. So that's a big chat about that, about JNT and his partner. So again, it's more podcasts about the past.
That sounds great. I think I'm on a BBC blacklist. No, I'm not joking. Really, I am. I think that anybody involved with BBC things that get said no, don't go with that filthy heathen.
Well, they do. The thing is, I mean, BBC Studios and the BBC, they've got different ways of looking at things. So, for example, I know that they're all over YouTube. They know who we all are, basically. Anybody who's putting out Doctor Who content, even a channel as small as mine on YouTube, they do know who's saying what to who and where. They're well aware. But I would imagine. Yeah, well, I wonder what they. Yeah, I've never actually heard.
Look, we know what the corporate culture is at BBC.
Yeah, so head over to the Spacebook channel from 8 p.m. for that, and more podcasts as well coming. I'm really missing the live streaming at the moment, Rabbi. I haven't done a live stream for over a week, but we're away, I think, for another couple of weeks before we're back with a vengeance for more 60th anniversary coverage and stuff. But I might do something on Saturday if everybody's free. We shall see. But I've been enjoying the time off as well. The family have been back for Easter.
I totally hear that. Very good. Okay, we'll turn over to you later in about an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, buddy. I'll try and get you an answer on the Toblerone thing as soon as possible.
Oh, very good.
Even if I have to contract somebody to conduct their own research and then get back to you because I think I could be too old.
I think we have met many candidates. Many candidates.
Good night, mate. Take care.
A little bit. Fine. Back to this article. Where are we up to? You have to admire Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss are trying something new with the victory of the Daleks. Well, yeah. It was just the design that didn't work, right? It just introducing a whole new class of color-coded pepper pots with foreboding-sounding roles. Seemed the perfect way to reinvigorate the decades-old scary monsters for a new generation. It did seem like a good idea on paper. I mean, it really did. And then the multicolored Duplo-style Daleks came rolling out of the dry ice to face against Matt Smith's Doctor Exter. Oh my God, what is that? Yes. Beamly amply stacked by the plasticky Daleks, giving them Radio Times cover. Well, nobody really realized how bad they were until they got until they were really got the audience reaction. Right? Sometimes you can do something that's awful and people just like it. It's weird, but true. In a comedy with aficionados Nicholas Briggs and Barney Weir, Mark Gatiss noted that the new shape of the Daleks particularly had a strange hump on their backs. Moffat clearly agreed as he reverted to the Bronze Star RTD era Daleks. The Paradise Daleks were an officer class. Yeah, look, darling, you were so clearly winding that back, and they were so clearly supposed to have things come out of that humpback, right? But they never did. Which sounds wibbly-wobbly written as a white lies cover-up fact. They've spent a lot of money on the Dalek design and broke the iconic silhouette. Next time, maybe don't design your Daleks with a sole purpose of making them look like not lickable. No, they were saleable, right? They were super saleable. Seriously, that was Moffat's design department. He wanted the kids to lick them. Really? Well, that's weird. That is weird. Shooting an entire episode of Doctor Who's on green screen. Oh no, Underworld's fine. I fundamentally disagree with you on this one. Right? It was a fine solution to. It's not like the era was renowned for its authenticity. It was fine. I really disagree with them on this one. All right. But okay, I guess it makes a good talking point. Number 5, right? Number 5. Now that Doctor Who is about to be a global smash on Disney Plus, if Disney Plus makes it, man. Oh man, I don't know. It has access to virtual screens such as the Mandalorian. It's specialized that this technology to be used in the shooting up was impossible in new TARDIS set, but that remains to be seen. Yeah, no, that TARDIS. We need something, Russell, mate. We need to reinvigorate interest. Whatever the truth and whatever the results, it can't be any worse than what fans got in the 1978 series Underworld. I think you're being mean. Underworld has a dubious honor of being Don Baker's series that was the worst. That is the worst regarded. No, look, Halls of Nyman used to be that for years. One of the reasons set aside from that sci-fi retelling of Greek mythology. Well, and look, you had what's the one with the giant? Was it not Creature from the Pit? Nightmare of Eden? No. Yeah, we look it up. 1 second. It was on one of the more recent box sets. Yeah, we'll go. Tom Baker. It wasn't the season 12 box set. Was it season 17? Yeah, Creature from the Pit. Yeah, that Creature from the Pit. That was way more embarrassing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Lots of CSO, Colin Baker and Louise Jameson. Well, Louise Jameson looked gorgeous throughout. And the cast performed their scenes on a giant green screen. It was a bold attempt at pushing the Doctor into new future sets. However, the construction of the Mayan ship set, one of the few physical locations in the story, was so expensive that it cut costs. So 1970 was forced to push the green screen. Let's have a look. Let's play a little looky-loo. All right. Video file. We go. Okay, I'm in the Doctor Who folder. Doctor Who. Underworld. What that was season 15. Oh, I just got an AVI. Dang. Here. Try and get it from YouTube then. YouTube. Doctor Who Underworld. Doink. We've got lots of trailers. Oh, we got new video effects on them. Okay, but come on, let's get somebody find me a clip from Doctor Who Underworld. Where is it? Well, let's try. Fine, must be this one. Yeah, this will have it. Doink. Yeah, this is I think this is a trailer from the DVD. I believe. They should have kept the new Dalek shape, but given them bigger bump bases and kept the color scheme. I think they should have kept they should have changed the color scheme, right? I think that would have worked, but kept the silhouette the same. Second, wait, is that not download? Where is it? There we go. Underworld. Let's have a look.
Tree. The tree of life. The wristband, the gift of immortality on the tree of life, guarded by the tree.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's not so bad.
The Oracle?
Yes.
Oh, that's just a myth, a story.
Oh, myths often have a grain of truth in them if you know where to look.
So once we get to see what's more of the background. That was the Mayan ship set. Apparently it's too expensive. There we go. Let's have a look.
P70 was carrying something much more important, at least to us.
Stop!
The future of the Minyan race.
Again, I think it's being a bit pedantic. Here, let's have a look at it with new special effects. This guy, this channel always does great stuff. Called Cunning Monkey. Yeah, I'll share the channel in a second. Cunning Monkey. But again, look, it's been years since I've seen Underworld. I remember enjoying it when I watched it. Let me just grab the guy's channel. Yeah, he also did the Time Monster. I think we looked at it the other day. Or did I just look at it myself? Because it was very good. I maybe didn't look at it. There you go. We're going to go over here. There we go. Doink. Underworld. Is it? Yeah, the new effects. That is the new background. One second. It looks like the same effects. Yeah. What's that? No, that's the CGI version, right? Do we see any of the? Yeah, I think the original was fine. Do we see any of the? Does he try and replace that? That's it. Let's see. Yeah, no. It's okay, whatever. Again, I think he's being a bit cruel, frankly. Right? That's where I am doing. We go to it wasn't okay, fine. Number 4, put in Dalek Sec on the radar code.
Russell Davis had a shit the size of Dalek Sec. He was pissed beyond pissed. Russell Davis, unquestionably modern TV's greatest showman. Yeah, he combined. Okay, I still think, even with the LGBTQ drag insanity thing going on there, he combines John Nathan Turner and Robert Holmes and Philip Hinchcliffe, right? I think that there is that triumph in him. And he knows how to put a spotlight. How Russell Davis is just as capable of making mistakes as those came before him. Well, again, we see the recent casting. And one of his biggest errors was revealing the Dalek set hybrid before it was introduced at the cliffhanger. No! He was very upset they put it on the cover, right? Worse than a massive spoiler, it was an artfully shot cover photo on the Radio Times. Looks amazing, but the glistening, horrific fusion of Carlig mutant and human face cast in half-light that looked utterly terrifying. The on-screen representation of the Daleks in Manhattan really didn't have any of the men of the Radio Times picture. That is true. The moving tentacles look ridiculous, while the rasping American accent didn't carry into the wickedness of the iconic Davros. The Radio Times character was a huge mistake because it raised expectations, saying it didn't deliver. Look, all that is true. It's hardly standing after the unloved attempt at the Dalek mouthpiece. Rusty, who brought back Davros, well, I think that was always his plan, wasn't it? Sixth Doctor throttling Perry. Well, yes. Again, Eric Saywood kind of off the charts, right? Kind of off the reservation. Of the beige coat critic whites of the Fifth Doctor, the sharp contrast to the bombastic Technicolor Sixth Doctor replacement should have been a Black Doctor. Then it would have been perfect, right? It would have been actually made a difference. It would have been really helpful to society. As Colin Baker came from the cool villainous roles of the BBC shows like the Roast to Freedom and Brothers, it was smart casting coup to subvert expectations by having him play the best hero. So, well, here's the thing. I didn't watch the Brothers. I didn't know he was a bad guy, right? I was like, what's going on? However, his first, The Twin Dilemma, skews far too much, and also the production values are awful. Too much sort of villainy and arrogance that Baker had played in his other roles. He was finding his feet with it. However, being snarky to Perry was nothing new. The Fifth Doctor, blah, blah, blah. However, when it came to Sixth Doctor in terms of Mary, he chokes to the floor. Then it becomes clear that the abrasive Doctor has already gone too far. Doctor almost immediately repentant for the accident, decides to exile himself to the barren planet, but the damage is already done. Yeah, I think that and the awful production values. The 13th Doctor had 3 companions. That wasn't the problem. The 13th Doctor was the problem, right? The whole era. Stop with this nonsense, right? It was fine with Rose, Mickey, and Captain Jack, right? Like that was never a problem. Nightmare in Silver. I'm not even bothering that. Yeah, Nightmare in Silver, Cybermen. Yes, but I don't think it's a number 1 mistake. I think they didn't really work, but I don't think it's a number 1 mistake. The design is sleek and therefore feels slightly more like the cybernetically augmented humans remains within. However, the decision to make the Nightmare in Silver infinitely adaptable was a step too far. Yeah. Well, I understand what they were trying to do. It just didn't work, right? The technology wasn't there. They should have like a CGI thing, like the chest and like bring things in and like build new weapons within it. So, like, it didn't really work, right? It didn't work, which is kind of how I feel about Picard. Oh, I should really do that review. I just finished listening to Stephen Luna's first Doctor box set, so I really should do a review of that. I guess we'll do that. No time for Mando either, man. Oh, out of time. Same. So tomorrow there will be a Newswalk video. I'll cover all the news of the week and of the day. Yeah, general take a piss. That'll be at 3 p.m. UK, right? 3 p.m. UK, and then at 1 p.m. UK on Rumble only is going to be the 48 Ways with me. Let me show you a quick peruse of what's coming up. So that will start. We didn't get to anything. I still haven't done the Hartnell's first stuff. I haven't done the Acolyte. Maybe Sunday.
because I've got too much stuff to get to. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. But here's what we got coming up. Okay, by the way, this is hilarious. Conservatives shadow banned on Twitter 1.0. NPR and BBC after being called government media. You are. Your government funded media, you whining cunts, okay? This video is brilliant. Absolutely watch it. Oh, it's the comeuppance that we always wanted to see. Thank you, Elon Musk. This will be coming out tomorrow. Alan Moore's first great Doctor Who Time War. Yeah, when he was doing the comic strips for like 20 minutes. This came out today. The implosion of Bud Light. Very good news. Bleeding calls. Doctor Who shaped Trump derangement syndrome. Still alive in 2023. Yes, they are. Nutballs back nutballs. That's who they are. We did this other case for Jinx Monsoon and the current day problem with drag. Yeah, it's called grooming. And Doctor Who What's in Future previewing Big Finish's 6th anniversary celebration, which I am actually looking forward to. Right? Quick what's the word I'm going to say? Spoiler for the review of the first Doctor's Demon Song. It's a recommend. It really is. Although I'm surprised. I prefer the Demon Song story, which is a two-parter, to the 4-part Nick Briggs one, which is the one I really expected to like. Fine. I gotta wrap up, babe. I am knackered. I am cream crackered. I am ready to stretch out and go climb the wooden hills of Bedfordshire. I'm kind of hungry. My wife, I think, has brought home burgers, so I'm really quite happy about that. Fine. Join me tomorrow. Join me Saturday Night Live. It'll be 7 p.m. We'll do Mando. We'll do Star Trek Picard. Yeah, not a glowing review, but not a terrible one. And I'm kind of looking forward to the final episode. Is it sticking the landing? Unless it has a look, I liked where it went. I like the plotting of where it went. How it got there, very weak. Right, the script wasn't great this week, which is unusual for Picard. Fine. With that, I'm hitting the end broadcast button, and I'm hitting.